Now there are three reasons that I've taken this timing case cover off. One is because I wanted to have a look inside myself and make sure everything was okay. Two is because I wanted to show people the inside of the timing case and, more importantly, the inside of the timing case cover, which you never really get to have a good look at on videos that I've seen on YouTube so far, despite sort of frantically trying to post certain videos to see to have a look inside. So it's kind of handy to know what it looks like inside and what you're checking for when you do take it off. And the third one is so that I can change the oil filter and prime the new oil, fit a new oil filter and prime the oil filter case, which you cannot do when it's on the bike because it's forward facing with the cap at the front, so there's no way of filling it with oil without oil spilling out when you try to seal it. You might be able to keep a little bit in there, but certainly not much. But if you take it off, you can upend it, fit a new filter, fill it with fresh oil and seal it up nice and tight. So that's the inside of the workings. As you can see, you've got this is where the oil is fed through from where the quill bolt goes. It goes through there, up an oil drilling in the flywheel and through onto the big end, then into the sump, then gets splashed around to lubricate under the piston and all around the engine. And it gets sucked from the sump by the scavenge pump, which is pulled out through here, fed up the external pipe, the feed of which is round here, and up to the head, back down through the push rod tubes, down back into the timing case, and then drains back into the tank here. So, and then these gears here operate your ignition, your points over there. So the inside of the timing case looks like this. It's quite a heavy casting, quite a thick alloy, and you've got guides for that locate these pins, which are fixed. They don't rotate, so they don't wear. What happens is the cogs actually rotate on the pins, as you can see there. So you've got these guide holes for these to slot into, and then you've got this, which is your quill bolt hole at the bottom, and then you've got this, which is the teeth. This is the important bit that you're checking, because these wear, and if they strip, you'll lose the oil pump. It literally stops working. So I'll just zoom in so you can see that a bit better. But if these strip, you lose the oil pump. It just stops working completely. Now, the quill rotates in a clockwise direction from the right hand side of the engine, so this way, and it's got a left hand screw thread on it. So as that rotates, what it does is it pulls these teeth. It's a little tricky to see because the light's going a little bit. It pulls these teeth towards the up this way. So basically, when you're viewing it from the front scavenge pump will rotate clockwise, and the rear main feed pump will rotate anti-clockwise. So to check that, you can actually move it by hand. So if you just put your thumb on there and get a bit close so you can see, and you can physically, it's a little stiff, but you can physically pull that round, and you can see there, as I'm pulling it, that it's spitting oil out through the scavenge pump there, which is what you'd expect it to do. And what you're doing as you rotate it, if you rotate it a bit at a time and you're just checking these teeth for obvious wear, damage, chipping or bits missing or what have you, and if there's any damage whatsoever, you need to take this whole thing out and replace the oil pump spindle, the whole lot. Because if you lose that, you lose your oil pump and you lose oil to all parts of your engine, which is a very bad thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is give this a bit of a clean up, and then I'm going to pop off the covers to the pump, check that the pumps are being fitted correctly, make sure that the larger pump is on the scavenge side and the smaller on the main feed, just to be absolutely certain. Again, I'm just sort of checking and double checking everything as I go. And then the next thing I'm going to do is pop off the cover and replace the oil filter. I'm just going to run you through the procedure of taking the timing chest cover off, because it's surprisingly easy, and I think it's easy enough to warrant doing this at every oil change where you change the oil filter. The removal, you drain the oil tank as you normally would with an oil change. You take out your quill bolt, and that will drain about 300 or 400 ml of oil out of the timing chest at this kind of level. Tip it over to the right a little to make sure it's well drained, and then you undo these 10 screws. They're cheese head slot screws, and a good wide screwdriver that fits very well. Undo these, give the timing cover a bit of a tap to loosen it, wiggle it off, and you will lose a little bit of oil, but only about so much as you can see there, because you've literally just got what's left under the quill bolt here, which as you can see is very little indeed. I'll just zoom in so you can kind of see. That's really not very much at all. You can check all your oil ways, check all the bits and pieces, change your oil filter, prime it, put everything back on, nip it all up. Take off your tappet cover and pour about 400 ml, 300 or 400 ml of oil straight down into the tappet cover. That will drain down into the timing chest. Either side, there's a little drain hole in either side. That will drain down into here and fill this. Your oil filter will be full. You then fill your oil tank and you're good to go.